So somewhere at 2 a.m. in the morning, there's a really smart founder who's asking themselves this question: why did that not move the business forward? Because the reality is, smart founders every day are solving problems that are not generating the results they expected. It's what we do. So let's talk about it today for just about 15 minutes. So every day, founders solve problems. That's what builders do. We solve problems. Problems, problems, problems. A customer leaves, the pipeline slows down, the cash gets tight, revenue stalls. Let me get my mic out the way. Okay. Revenue stalls. And none of these are imaginary. We're not making stuff up. They're real problems that we're facing every single day. So naturally, we solve the problems we can see. Okay? There's an old saying, might be dating myself, that the squeaky wheel gets what? The squeaky wheel gets the grease. So then we invest in more ads, more outreach, more sales training, more automation, more hiring, and more meetings. But sometimes it works, but sometimes 90 days later, you're faced with the same problem over again. And who wants that, really? This is in the way. So, what if the solution wasn't wrong? What if it just solved the wrong problem? How would you know? Think about a fever, okay? You can reduce the temperature, right? But if you never find the infection, guess what? The fever comes back. Nobody argues with that because the fever has a purpose. It's a signal to show you that there's still a problem, right? Businesses behave the same way. So, revenue, pipeline, cash, still getting this blurry. Cash, customer complaints, they're often symptoms, not necessarily the source of the problem. So, the better question is not, how do I solve this? It's, what is this trying to tell me? I'm struggling with this mic today. What is this trying to tell me? The founders who scale consistently aren't always better at solving problems, but they're better at identifying which problem is creating all the other problems. So let's look at an example. Let's say revenue's down. The founder concludes, we need more leads. And many people love to hear us make that conclusion. And it seems reasonable. But what if you're losing customers faster than you're replacing them? Or your close rate has quietly fallen? Or your average deal size has declined? Or your sales cycle has doubled? Every one of these will result in lower revenue. Only one requires more leads. Let's look at the second one. The pipeline is shrinking. The founder says marketing is not working. Maybe that is the case. Maybe. Or follow-up is inconsistent. Opportunities aren't advancing. referrals have slowed, or response time is increased. Pipelines shrink in every one of those cases, every single one. Different causes, same symptom, same symptom. The symptom doesn't tell you what problem you're solving. This is why smart founders can make perfectly reasonable decisions, and still not move business forward. The quality of your solution is never going to exceed the quality of your diagnosis. So I have a challenge for you this week. And the challenge is to pick one problem that you've been trying to solve. Whatever it is, just pick one. Then ask yourself one question. What else could cause this symptom? What else? Right? If you can think of 2 or 3 other things that could cause this problem, you probably haven't isolated the constraint. Right? So the other thing is, as part of Archetypes of Scale, we have this Thursday kind of orientation to a particular topic. In this case, we're looking at why the solutions that we implement or choose are not necessarily moving the business forward. We toss that around a bit, but then on Tuesday, we prove it. We prove a pattern that is related to that. So this Tuesday, we're going to examine one pattern that causes founders to confidently solve the wrong problems. And we'll also prove how that particular activity of solving the wrong problem impacts the business. That's on Tuesday. And this is where the conversation about the problem connects with proof. And the patterns are how we identify in the business what's happening. But anyway, that's for Tuesday. So for today, I encourage you to see more, guess less, and always diagnose before you deploy. Until next time.